play you a song about things going on, but you won't take the time to listen. With a hit tune from Skinner's Prime that you ask us to play every time. There's a whole lot going down that you are missing.
I'm Scott Chism.
And I'm the better half, and this is the Porch Sessions in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Well, hello, I'm Drew, and welcome back to the Porch Sessions here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where today we have not one but two people on the porch with us today. We have Scott Chism and the better half, if you don't mind me calling you that.
I don't mind it at all, been called worse.
Well, thanks you guys for being here. It's really nice to do, really nice to see you guys here. I have to say, when I first came to Hattiesburg, you were one of the first bands I ever saw, and I just fell in love with you all. I saw you guys at the Hippo, and it just I was just captivated by how great. And you had the full band. And you guys were just so much fun, and I've been, and ever since we started doing this, I've been wanting to get you guys on here. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So tell me a little bit now, how did you guys meet, and like what is Scott Chism and the better half?
Okay. You want to tell a story, or you want me to tell you?
It's us making racket wherever we can, pretty much, for me in a nutshell. But you go ahead and go.
Yeah, we first ran across each other, I guess it was about 12 years ago or so. And it was very brief, and we really didn't get to know each other that well. And then maybe about 6 years later, we ran across each other by accident at an open mic, and that's where the whole thing kind of began. I had to bug Lynsey for about a year to try to get her to come and sing with me, because I've been playing with bands off and on for years, and I heard her sing.
He was trying to get me to go out with him.
I'm glad you said that. That's what I was going to say. So now you guys are from what part of the state?
Well, North Mississippi, just north of Tupelo in little bitty towns. She's from Ripley, Mississippi.
Halfway between Memphis and Tupelo. That's where I grew up.
I grew up around Boonville, Mississippi.
Now, you guys have got an unusual living situation, don't you?
That we do.
We do.
You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we lived here in Hattiesburg for about 3 years.
And loved it.
Yes.
It's a great town.
Yes, we love Hattiesburg. But we ran across a 40-foot motorhome, an RV, that I just couldn't get out of my mind.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I
thought he was kidding, but he said he was going to get the bus, and I said, yeah, sure, that'll be great. And he came driving back on a bus. So we had a couple of yard sales, and
then we sold all our stuff and decided that as much as we move around, it might be nice to have a house with wheels on it so that we can go wherever we would like.
Well, when you travel, that's what you miss is your home. And I guess if you can take your home with you when you travel, you know. So.
That is so great.
So we've been doing it now for a little over a year. We've been living in a van down by the river.
No way.
In a good way.
Well, I mean, really, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, because you guys are traveling all across the country. You were just in Colorado recently, right?
Yeah, we went from Ohio to Colorado and everywhere in between.
We were outrunning the weather down here.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But we usually try to leave mid-July, and we'll come back about this time.
Well, yeah, if I had that luxury, I would do the same thing as well too. So, well, now, I know we were talking earlier about songwriting, and you were talking about how you pull from some of your life experiences and from the songs that you write. And you were telling me one of the funniest stories I think I've ever heard in my life about a song that you have. And
yeah,
you want to. Can you tell me
is it the Jet and Dewdrop? That's the one?
I mean, that has to be a true story.
Oh, it is. Yeah, and for a long time, I didn't believe that it was true. But my grandfather's name was Jet Chism, and my grandmother's name was Dewdrop Chism. And they were from the country. But my dad had 10 brothers and 2 sisters. And they worked the land up there, picking cotton and soybeans and all that good stuff, farming basically for a living. And my dad was about 5 years old. He hid in a barn to try to get out of working that day. And he ended up getting kicked in the head by either a mule or a horse. I can't remember, but they didn't have enough money to take him to the nearest hospital, which was in Memphis. And luckily, just a few houses down was a guy that worked for the local's doctor's office. And they ended up taking him there, and the doctor literally pulled a silver dollar out of his pocket and wiped it off and put it in my dad's forehead and sewed it up. And it's still there today.
It is.
I didn't believe
can
it for the
feel it.
longest.
I mean, that
was just begging for a song to be written about it.
Well, I mean, I have nothing else to top that one. So I got to hear that song now.
Yeah.
Okay, we can make that happen. Now, I
Great,
used to
I'm
give
really
him a
excited,
hard time whenever I was younger, and I would ask him if I could have some money, and he told me he didn't have any, which the man can never be broke. He's always got at least $1.
And you were saying that he's got a lot of sense in his
Well,
life,
he
right?
puts it to everybody as he's got more sense up here than anybody else.
Yeah, so I wonder, we seem to have a train coming by here. There seems to be a lot of excitement going on in the
that's
train.
normal
Well,
in
this is a little
Hattiesburg.
unusual for this, so I think it's probably getting away. I think we're probably all good now. Okay.
Okay. Jet and Dewdrop's Farm. Really?
Just another 10 brother, 2 sister, tough, poor, working, kind, picking country boy. In 1945, another son was born. 2 more working hands on Jet and Dewdrop's farm. Hunting dogs and a cotton fields and a corn cob for a tour. Just another 10 brother, 2 sister, tough, poor, working, kind, picking country boy. Jet and Dewdrop was shelling peas, one of the boys that hid in the barn. Just a playful little lad hiding from his mom and dad, but they stood in the stable startled. Now before he could blink, I had time to think. Dad kicked, quickly silenced his holler. That boy was so tough, they just sewed it back up and filled that hole with a silver dollar. Running them rabid dogs by the time that he turned 10, kept him tied up to his plow. He's working in the field. When the work was done, he run them dogs some more. Just another 10 brother, 2 sister, tough, poor, working, cotton picking country boy. Now Jet, he was a good old fella. He hardly ever went into town. So dogs that he had raised to run when he wasn't behind the plow. He taught his boys how to live off the land and to show no pity or shame. If you ever had to tangle with any of them boys, you damn sure remember their name. Now the young ones look ahead, and the old ones, they look back. The middle ones look wore out, bloody hands from a cotton plant. Move that mule on down to the next turn row. Just another 10 brother, 2 sister, tough, poor, working, kind, picking country boy. Just another 10 brother, 2 sister, tough, poor, working, kind, picking country boy.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Well, we'll be right back with a couple more songs. Let me tell that one again. Sorry about that. We'll be back in a couple more minutes with a couple more songs from Scott and the Better Half.